One thing that was really interesting to me moving to the United States is just how different the flower culture is comparatively to back in Ukraine. So I thought, why don't we talk about it? Flowers are really important in Ukrainian culture. It's very customary to give flowers on a lot of different occasions, but there are also a lot of rules and little, I would say, not the superstitions, but a little nuances that you have to know when dealing with flowers in Ukraine. So I thought I'd share some of them with you. So in this video, I'm first going to talk a little bit about Ukrainian culture surrounding giving flowers, what are some tips and tricks and nuances around it. I'll talk a little bit about what different flowers symbolize and how to pick a correct flower for a correct occasion. And then in the end, we'll touch a little bit on Ukrainian vocabulary and we'll learn how different flowers are called in Ukrainian. Okay, let's get started. So there are two main considerations that you have to keep in mind when considering giving flowers. First of all, you need to think about who is the recipient of the flowers, right? Think about their age, think about their gender, think about some other important nuances, maybe their preference and things like that. The second consideration is a little bit less obvious, but you have to consider the reason why you're giving flowers, and you'll kind of understand why it is important further on in this video. Young children are generally given a smaller bouquets of flowers. Those go very nicely with toy or a little candy bar, but the main point is that you're not expected to give a huge bouquet to a kid. Something reasonable enough that the kid can carry around and it looks reasonable for their size. In contrast, for adults, it's customary to give flowers with the longer stems. In fact, a lot of times you can see men giving women roses with the very big stems, and the longer the stem, apparently the better. That's how it works. But what's the idea behind giving flowers? Well, you give flowers to show your appreciation, to show admiration, and to just let know that this person is special. There are a lot of different occasions on which you would give flowers, especially in Ukrainian culture. It's customary to come with the flowers for a date. Giving women flowers is a great way to show appreciation. Another occasion that's customary for flower giving is birthday parties. There are several very important rules about flower giving in Ukraine. And first of them is never give the even number of flowers. It is believed that the even number of flowers is given as a sign of a mourning and farewell. So make sure whenever you are sending flowers to someone, it's an odd number of flowers. Except 13. 13 is an unlucky number. So stick with the odd number of flowers. 5, 7, 9, I'd say would work perfectly. Second, it's not only important how many flowers you give, but also what is their quality. It's better to give no flowers than flowers of poor quality. So when you select flowers, make sure that they are fresh. You can check the freshness of the flower by gently touching the middle. If it feels tight, it means the flower is fresh and there is more room for it to open. If it's not tight, if it's soft or a little bit wobbly, that means flower's life is going down and it will be not fresh by the time you'll have to present it to someone. Make sure they look good and that they actually portray what you would like to say with that gift. Another important rule to consider is that carnations are generally considered a flower that's given to veterans, and especially red carnations has been for the longest time associated with veterans of the Second World War. Red carnations would be laid down for the fallen veterans. So red carnation might not be the best choice for the flower to give to your loved woman or to a friend for a birthday. Okay, so this one is not really a rule, but it's something that I've heard a lot. Don't give yellow roses to the woman you love. Why? Because someone one day decided that yellow roses represent breakup and they represent the idea that soon you will be not together, or that perhaps maybe someone gives it as a sign of a breakup. So yellow roses were never really liked that much. Yet again, I wouldn't say that's a rule, and a lot of people probably love yellow roses for how vibrant they are, and yellow color is beautiful, but there are some people who would hold that belief, so I just want you to be safe. On the other hand, red roses are considered as a sign of love and passion. So, if you want to give someone flowers but don't want them to think that you are in absolute love with them, maybe red roses is not the best idea. There are also several tips surrounding how you should give flowers. Again, those are all just suggestions and general guidelines. First of all, when you give someone flowers, it makes sense to hold the bouquet in your left hand so you have your right hand free for greeting. The delivery of flowers is frequently supported with pleasant words and compliments. The flowers are generally presented to the hostess of the house if you came for a visit, or to the originator of the celebration, such as the birthday person. If a young man visits his woman's family for the first time, it's customary to show your appreciation by giving flowers to both the hostess and her daughter. You don't have to have the same bouquets, but they have to have an equivalent value and quality. Flowers also have a special meaning in the Ukrainian culture and folklore. Plants, flowers has always considered to be some kind of a talisman, and each flower has its own meaning. For example, chamomile is a symbol of love and fidelity, sunflower is a symbol of peace, poppy is flower of girls' dreams, mallow is a love for motherland, mint is a talisman for children and their health, oregano is a symbol of mother's love, viburnum is a symbol of femininity and love for home. So what are some of the differences that I saw between the flower giving culture in Ukraine and in the United States? Well, I might be wrong. This is a one-person opinion, so take it with a grain of salt. But what I feel is that it's much less common in the United States to give flowers. You don't see as many flower shops as you see them on every corner in Ukraine. Flowers are not as accessible in terms of price. There's not as big as a variety. I also think it's much less common for men to give flowers to women when they go to the date. You see much less couples with flowers being in the restaurant. Another interesting thing I noticed is that here, either they don't care, so they don't count how many flowers are in bouquet, or even number of flowers is actually a customer number of flowers to give. Hey, if you're from the United States, let me know. Okay, now that we're done with the chit chat surrounding the flower giving, and if you have any questions, shoot them in the comments. If I can help, I totally will. I'd love to do that. Okay, now that we had a little bit of a chit chat about how to give flowers in Ukrainian culture and what's the meaning of them, I would like to teach you some of the most common flowers in Ukrainian. So when you visit Ukraine, you will have no issues going to the local flower shop and picking the flowers for any occasion. Alright, so I will say each word 3 times. First, I will say it in a more or less normal speed. The second time, I will repeat it very slowly so you can see all the different nuances. And the third time and final time, I'll repeat it at the normal speed again. So make sure you take time to repeat after me and really nail that pronunciation. The more you repeat it, the easier it will be and the faster you'll learn that word. The longer it will stay in your memory and the easier you can retrieve it from there. So don't miss out the opportunity to repeat after me every time. Let's get started. Rose. Троянда, троянда, троянда. Далія, жоржина, жоржина, жоржина. Chamomile, ромашка, ромашка, ромашка. Peony, півонія, півонія, півонія. Sunflower, соняшник, соняшник, соняшник. Poppy, мак, мак, мак. Mallow, мальва, мальва, мальва. Viburnum, калина, калина, калина. Orchid, орхідея, орхідея, орхідея. Carnation. Гвоздика. 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 Tulip. Тюльпан. 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 Periwinkle. Барвінок. 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 Dandelion. Кульбаба. 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 Well, I hope this was helpful. So we talked a little bit about the flower giving, the how to give flowers, which flowers to give and when and why. We also learned a little bit how to call these flowers in the Ukrainian. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video and you learned something new, and let me know in the comments if there was something unusual or if you want to add something. Well, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please don't forget to press the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in my next videos. Bye bye!